What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hidden Heights Farm Vlog. And today it's a hot summer day in Oklahoma. So what better day than any other than to go check and see if it's time to harvest any honey. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than our normal goat and chore farm turkeys gardening videos. Today we're going to go check some of our honey supers on our beehives and see if it's time to rob them suckers. They've been working hard for us this year. We've had tons and tons of rain all spring long, so as you can see, a lot of the flowers have been bloomed out all the way up until now even, and it's, you know, really near the mid of July. So it's a perfect time to go check on them suckers. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know that I had one big beehive and we actually got 2 swarms caught from that and a split from that one hive, so now we got 4 out of one hive. But the one we're gonna go check today is one that's on the north side of our property on the fence line over by itself. I see a lot of activity at it, and it's one of our older hives that we've had for a couple years now. So let's go check it out and see if it's time to rob some of that honey out of there. Alright guys, so you see this frame here, about 25% of it or so is actually capped honey. This top part right here, that's solid, that's capped. All this right here is still just nectar that they're kind of drying out. Still got a lot of water content in it. And the back side's the same. So we're not going to take any of the frames that look like this. We're going to let them continue to cap all of it. Alright guys, so this one here is pretty much 100% capped, so we're going to take this and harvest some of the honey from this one. And I brought empty frames to replace the ones that we take so they can keep building more comb out on these. We got another frame that's fully capped, so we're going to harvest this honey as well. Third frame that's fully capped. So far so good. This is looking really good. Got another one, that makes 4. Five. Six. Alright guys, so this is like our first year that we got this much, that many frames of honey. And this year I did something a little different. I put on a metal or a steel queen excluder this time instead of the little plastic one, and it looks like it has made a big difference. I've always heard people say that they didn't think some of the worker bees could all fit through that plastic queen excluder, and this time I went with the metal this spring, and it looks like it did make a difference. I don't know if you guys can see that real well, but that down there is a metal queen excluder, and that keeps the queen from coming up into this top box and laying eggs. So this is all just for honey supers. But I need to go get 2 more frames and put in here, so I'm gonna go run and do that while I got it open, and then we'll look at what our harvest has this year. Alright guys, so I've tried to end this video like 4 times, and these bees keep coming after me and hit me in the face and my head. Luckily I have not been stung yet. Alright, so I brought you guys along, and we went and harvested the honey from one of the hives that is on the north piece of our property. And you know, it couldn't have went better. It was an easy harvest. I think I took 7 frames out of there and left them 3 frames that was just partially capped. Sometimes if you think it's going to be a bad summer, you know, we've been blessed this spring with a lot of rain, so the flowers and stuff provided a lot of nectar and pollen, so that's why we were able to have this great honey harvest, you know. So with that being said, is now it's starting to be, it's the middle of July, so it's starting to be a little warmer, things are drying out, And you want your bees to make it through winter. If your bees don't make it through winter, they're all going to die and you're going to lose a hive. So when you harvest honey, sometimes it's okay and it's a good idea to leave them a few frames of honey for themselves. That way they'll have enough to eat on. And if it does dry up and they can't get much nectar and such for food for the winter time, then you can still, they can go back to that honey that you left them. And hopefully they'll keep building on until winter time or fall time. And that will make it through winter for them. So anyways, let's go see. Hopefully I don't get stung. If I do, don't laugh at me. These things, every time I go close to the Ranger where all the frames are in the back of the Ranger with the honey in it, they don't like it. They're super pissed because I took their honey. So let's try to see if we can't end this video. So we got 7 of the mediums, and then in one of our other hives we were able to get two deep frames. These bees keep stinging me on the arm. But alright, let's try this one more time. So I finally got some help. Rachel's home. We got the Ranger in the shop. We got the garage door closed, but there's still some bees on the frames. So these things are still buzzing around. Alright. So we're gonna get these, try to get these frames of honey off of here and stick them on this plastic tub. We don't have any fancy honey extractor or anything like that, so we're gonna have to do this in the house, the old-fashioned way, I guess. Alright, we'll just try to brush them off.
What do you want me to do? Lift them up and I'll brush them, or you lift them and I'll brush them?
We'll just, you check that side, and this one looks good. It's amazing how heavy one frame of this honey weighs. I think there's a lot of them left.
I don't know if y'all can see this. That is full of honey. Both sides.
I showed them when I was getting it out. All of them. I think they left when they came in here.
Make sure they don't.
Yeah. Alright guys, so thankfully help arrived and I was able to get the Ranger in the shop so we could get this honey out of this box, and we've got it in this plastic tote. We're going to get it in the house and we'll harvest it in the house. That way we don't have to worry about the bees coming, because it's a sticky job.
Somebody's got to do it.
Right. So anyways, we'll make a video over that. We'll have that video coming out here soon. Something about us harvesting this honey. So anyways guys, thank you so much for coming along with me today and watching the process of me collect or steal or rob the honey from the bees. It's a lot of work for them, we know, but man, it sure is enjoyable for us. And you know, raising bees is something not very easy. A lot of people think you just put a box out on your land, the bees come and do their job, and you collect the reward from it, but that's not how it is. It's a lot of work. You have to keep the mites. You got to treat them for mites here and there and keep them at bay. You got to keep the hive beetles at bay. There's a lot that goes into it. You got to feed them in the spring sometimes, and in the winter time. There's just a ton of stuff that goes into it that people don't realize. So when you see a local beekeeper selling a jar of honey for $12 or $15,
it's worth it.
It might sound expensive, but for how much you get out of one beehive, that's really not a lot of money, because it is a lot of work for the bees and for the beekeeper.
And costly.
And you know, it's a way that puts money back into a beekeeper's funding. That way they can help preserve the bees, because you guys know that bees are super endangered because of all the pesticides and everything that people's using these days. It's harder and harder for them to make it through life without getting killed. So, you know, if we lose the bees, we lose everything according to the food. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Alright guys, so you've seen it. That honey super on that hive down there was wonderful. It had almost every frame full of honey, and these guys are still after me. They're pissed off because I just took a bunch of their honey. So, god dang, super off of that hive that is on the far north. We've been blessed, like I said earlier, with a bunch of, excuse me, these bees are still trying to hit me and sting me. They're super pissed because I just took a bunch of their honey, so. Let me walk away from this honey a little bit. I don't want to get stung in the eyeball. So anyway, as I was saying, we were blessed with rain spread out all through this springtime, so the flowers and stuff did really good. There was a lot of nectar, a lot of pollen this year. So we were blessed with this honey super being filled with, man, these bees are crazy. They keep coming after me. They're hitting this microphone for some reason. But anyways, guys, like I said, we were blessed with all this honey this year, so I was able to gather it. And these bees just will not stop.